What is up, basketball fans, and welcome back to Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, where today we're going to break down all of the game ones, except for two of them, but I'm going to tell you what happens in those two games at the end of the episode, and you're not going to be surprised by the results that when you listen to this on Monday morning. It's going to be great. The play-in officially stinks. I'm over the play-in. Get rid of it. Just go 1 through 8 again, and we're going to get these stinker matchups for 1 and 8 and 2 and 7. It's going to be fine. Phil Jackson had a great tweet, but we're going to get to that all today on Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast. Shout out to J Bar M. J Bar M Barbecue is just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center, where tonight the Houston Rockets are playing in Toyota Center in the playoffs. People forget tonight, as in Sunday, April 20th. Easter. Happy Easter to those who celebrate. J Bar M Barbecue is just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. They're our favorite place. We'll be there very, very soon to watch a Rockets game during the playoffs at J Bar M Barbecue. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang. You should too. Zang responsibly with Zing Zang. Shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Paul's Wing Joint. I'm your host, Stone Strankman. On today's Zero Gravity, we have Josh Garcia. No three-man weave today. How are we doing, bud?
Thank you. I'm amazing. Playoff time. It's serious business here in the Garcia household. Happy Easter, brother. I'm excited. He is risen. Is it he is or he has risen? He is risen?
Yeah.
I don't. Sure. Grammar's, who cares about grammar? Whatever.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, they made the Shakespearean language even. I felt very Shakespearean watching that Nuggets Clippers game.
Great game. We're going to get into all the games that have happened so far, but before we do that, shout out to Phil Jackson. Scrolling on Twitter, waiting on you to hop on here before we got into our show notes and hopped on this podcast. But Phil Jackson tweeted, again, the NBA tests faith by playing multiple games on Christmas and Easter, ... sacred days. And I just thought we had to mention that because it's incredibly funny that the mushroom LSD acid taker that lives in Montana, Phil Jackson, noted tyrant on the NBA court, is tweeting about Christmas and Easter as sacred days, and the NBA shouldn't be playing on them. That's objectively hilarious.
Well, this is a complete cover-up because Easter's on 420 this year, and he's not talking about Easter, buddy. He's talking about his other sacred day. Yeah. That's very strange how the smallest little things can just get people so riled up. Shout out Phil Jackson, though. Triangular GOAT.
I laughed very hard when I saw that, so we had to add it in the show notes. So shout out to Phil Jackson for that tweet. That was good.
Incredible.
Way to blaze it this morning in Montana, buddy. That was good. Josh, the play-in, it's over. I am done with it. In theory, more basketball games, yes, enjoyable. However, we got really just one out of all the play-in games that were actually entertaining in any way, shape, or form. And it wasn't entertaining except for the last 4-5 minutes of the game where Memphis made a fake comeback and then the ref stood in and whatever. I'm over the play-in. Just give me the stinker first-round matchups. Don't give me the extra 2-3 basketball games that I don't really need to watch because I kind of know the results heading into it. Like, I was not surprised that the Heat, first 10 seed ever to move out of the play-in. Congrats. We saw the Heat make it to the finals as an 8 seed, make it out of the play-in. And ever since then, the NBA is like, you see, this works. You can still make it. That was not an 8 seed. That was a team that did not try in the regular season because they were saving up for the playoffs and knew exactly what to do once they got to the playoffs because they were healthy. Jimmy Butler was still a tyrant on the NBA court and was able to do whatever he wanted pretty much in those playoffs. Play-in, get rid of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the NHL playoff system. I'm tired of playing. I'm tired of a lot of things. And get rid of the 3-game wild cards in the MLB while we're at it. Like, just make everything normal again and call it a day. Please. Begging.
The culture is reverting back to normalcy after this 5-year window. Less is more and more is less, it seems, in the NBA. And with all these playing games and how terrible they've all turned out, I'd just like to say for Dyson Daniels' MIP case, maybe it's good that he didn't play in the playoffs so he could really keep that case going strong for him. But that East was disgusting. That West was disgusting, obviously, other than Memphis and Golden State there. And then, of course, Memphis gets blown out by 51 points today. Less is more. I don't want to see any more play-in basketball. I was, Shelly Nord, he was, he's out on the play-in. I'm gonna have to follow his way of thinking. This is, what are we on, year 4 of this? And we've gotten maybe 2 good games out of it. Lakers Warriors, I believe.
That was cool.
That was fine.
That was one time. That was fun. It's just like
I'm out.
A 10 seed has no business being in the playoffs. They didn't earn it in the regular season. The incentive is to be good in the regular season to make it into the playoffs. You get 1 through 8. If you make it into that 8 seed and you can go on a run from there, like the Heat did, I know they had to play the play-in game, but they made it. They got the 8 seed. They lost the 7-8 matchup. People forget, and then win the next one and made it into the final, or made it to the finals off of that. Incredible run, sure, but they could have just done that as the 7 seed. They probably would have won that first round matchup, and then they played Boston in round 2 possibly instead of round 1. They probably still beat them because that was that year for whatever reason. Like, it just works out that way. It just, everything works out the same exact way as if it was 1 through 8. And all you did was add an extra game or 2 for teams that are not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to have playoff revenue, and you added 1 more game to their schedule. What is the extra couple $100,000, maybe $1 million from that one game that you're making off of fans showing up, buying concessions, jerseys, merchandise, tickets, all those things? I know the owners are money hungry, and they've shown that with the CBA, where the owners are basically handicapping themselves to not make bad decisions anymore unless you're the Celtics or the Suns, and you don't care about the luxury tax, and you're like, we're going to build our teams. And there's 2 spectrums of that. We've seen it now for the full season. It's been rough, but for one team, and it's been pretty good for the other. So yeah, I'm done with playing. It's over. Get rid of it. Call it a day. I don't care. Adam Silver, please make it stop.
The NBA is the only league where its fans want less out of the games, out of the how long the season is. It's a weird, unique situation. Can't say I've experienced that in many other sports. Baseball gets 162 games, and people are like, "Damn it, I want more" at the end of the postseason. So I don't know where the NBA goes from here. I mean, obviously we could lower the season to 70 games and keep the play-in, or take the play-in away and make the 82 games really matter and continue to count. I don't know what the equilibrium would be. I don't know how that all would work out. I don't really see anything changing, because they're going to keep this play-in until its wheels fall off. And you'd think 1 year the wheels fall off, and then the next year, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 years from now, it just keeps continuing getting worse every year, in and out. PU. I'm not a fan right now.
Yeah, if we get to like year 10 of the play-in and not another team has made it out of the first round from the play-in, can we just go back? Because you're just adding miles to people that don't need it. It's like, go to Cancun already, bud. Like, Get ready for the lottery. It's gonna be okay. Gonna get another player. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't.
Are the Mavericks still in lottery contentions?
Yeah, now we gotta flip a coin between Chicago and the Mavs for whoever gets that pick and the extra like 1 point whatever % for top 4. That's where we're at now, I think. So
sure. Look at my league, man.
Yeah, whatever. Give me the lottery. Yep. Figure it out later. Game 1 reactions. Not a lot of good stuff here. It's kind of like the play-in, but at least it's not the play-in anymore. At least it's the playoffs. So we'll just start on Saturday, kind of go in a row. Pacers, they kind of just ran away from the Bucks pretty early on. The Pacers are a very good offensive basketball team. They're not a very good defensive basketball team. Been saying that for years with Rick Carlisle at the helm, and the Bucks are just like, it's a carcass of players. Kyle Kuzma, congratulations on the new Tony Snell stat in the playoffs. Kyle Kuzma, welcome. 22 minutes, 0 stats. 22 minutes, 0 stats. 0.
Oh,
no steals, no blocks, no rebounds, no points, no assists, no nothing. It's incredible.
I'm trying to do the zero play here. It would be 220,000, correct? With all those decimals.
Yeah. Sure.
That's a lot of money, Kyle Kuzma, and a lot of money you're taking away from hungry children here in America who deserve it. That's a very messed up of you, Kyle. You're saying, "Oh, I don't care that you can't win your parlays, whatever." This guy just doesn't care about your money. He's a dare I say, basketball grifter. He's just taken from the rich and not given back to the poor.
Yeah. I was having this thought the other day. I saw a clip on Twitter of the 2021 finals where Giannis had the block towards the end of the game on Devin Booker. Incredible finals, whatever. I didn't like that finals in any way, shape, or form because I don't like either of those teams. I don't like Giannis. I don't really care for the Bucks. I hate the Suns, obviously. And Now I'm just looking back on it. I'm like, thank God the Suns didn't win because that would have sucked if they won that. Like, I'm glad Giannis got his one. He can be his Dirk and he can just stay in Milwaukee and rot for the rest of the time, or he can hint at a trade like he did. Was that last year?
Yeah, there
At
was
the end
a
of the
good
season,
month
he
or
was
two.
kind of, or in the middle of the season, he was kind of hinting like, yeah, if they don't figure this shit out, I'm out of here. And then they traded for Dame, and he's like, all right, we're cool. Sign an extension, and now it's not cool but Dame, congrats on getting off of blood thinners miraculously in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. He's cleared to practice right now. He's gonna be back game 2, 3, 4, somewhere in there. So good for him. I don't think that's enough to beat the Pacers. Like the Pacers might just win 3 in a row, and then Dame shows up, and they're like, "Oh, we got to win 4 now in a row."
Those lineups were some of the nastiest things I've seen. I know it was
The lineup was
Brook Lopez,
disgusting.
Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, and I believe that white dude and some other point guard. I forgot, but that lineup was so disgusting seeing it in person. I don't know how we got here. Shout out to the Milwaukee team doctors though. Just the guy gets a blood clot and he's miraculously back within a month or a month and a half, whatever it is. You don't see much of that nowadays. So good for him. Damian Lillard being on this team doesn't move me in the way that it maybe did once he did get traded. Even then we were like, like it's not gonna be the same Dame.
You just traded for this.
And he still ends up being, really efficient. He has a good season in the grand scheme of things when you look at the numbers, but numbers don't matter anymore. This team is not great, and Giannis can't sit there and score 50 every game. Dame can't sit there and shoot 6 for 10 from 3 every game. That's not going to happen. On the times that it does happen, however, I mean, like I said, the Bucks are still going to get 2 games out of this series, I think.
If Dame comes back game 3, then for sure.
Yeah,
I'm in on that. But if he comes back game 4, I don't know if they're getting.
No,
I don't know if they're getting 2 games.
Well, they were saying 2 or 3. So we'll see how it turns out
for game 2. I don't know. This team stinks. The series stinks. The Pacers might just make it to the Eastern Conference Finals again. Like it's very possible now. It's like maybe it's not a fluke. Maybe they're just an Eastern Conference team.
I'm
like,
sorry,
maybe it's just the Paul George
team.
Pacers again. They're just going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals all the time and never get into the finals.
I love it. Sure, if that's what you want it to be, so be it. But the Pacers is like just genuinely top to bottom have a really fun team, and
they're very fun.
Feel like we didn't give them enough praise this season. Benedict Mathurin is actually molding into a really good player. Nobody's talking about it.
Well, they did stink for the first half of the season.
This is true.
Luka Doncic got traded and fucked everything up in our system for the rest of the season. So, and the Rockets were the 2 seed. So we had a lot of things to talk about. The Pacers did not get a lot of runtime there. Sorry. Tyrese Halliburton's been really good in the second half of the season after All-Star break, really. And I mean, great offense. Defense is subpar, but it doesn't matter if your defense is subpar if the Bucks are the team you're playing because they don't have an offense.
They don't have anything, it feels like, besides Giannis and Brook Lopez sometimes.
Yeah, when he wants to.
Yep.
Let's get out of here. Nuggets Clippers, which is one of the most fun first round matchups.
Golf clap game.
Yeah, that was a golf clap game. That was a great game. Kawhi looked really good, but also really bad at the same time. Jokic did Jokic things. Russell Westbrook did Russell Westbrook things. They went to OT. At one point, I was looking at the scoreboard. I watched a little bit of the game. I was picking up dinner. There was a whole thing going on, so I didn't get to watch all of it. But I thought the Clippers were kind of running away with it, and then all of a sudden I look up and the Nuggets had like a 4-point lead. I was like, how did this happen? And then I look up and it's OT, and then I'm going to the Stars game and I get there and it's like, oh, the Nuggets won. I was like, whoa, that was crazy. OT, 2 points. But Kawhi had 7 turnovers, I believe. I saw that stat. So not ideal, not what you want to see from your guy. He did look good. It's just you can't have 7 turnovers by yourself. That's just not good. Not good at all.
No, especially with James Harden on your team. It's like that's reserved for the other guy. Shout out James Harden though. Oh my God, vintage. They said who was it? Vintage Bruce Brown or vintage Gary Trent. I forgot one of those guys in the play-in game. One of those guys. We got real deal vintage James Harden yesterday. 32 points, I believe it was 6 rebounds, 11 assists. That team is very fun. Norm Powell, however, I got a lot of bones to pick with that guy. Other than that,
pick with Ben Simmons over his haircut.
You don't like Ben Simmons' rose? Come on, man.
I was like, who's the guy with the cornrows? I was sitting at the bar waiting on my food to pick up. And I was like, who's the guy with the cornrows? He's kind of tall. Like, who
You're
is
like,
this
oh,
guy?
that's 7
I was
foot
like,
Ben Simmons.
25. Wait a second. Didn't Ben Simmons sign that? Holy shit, that's Ben Simmons. I was like baffled
I love it.
that I saw that. That was incredible.
Top to bottom, that Clippers team is so hilarious. And combined with that Nuggets series, I if this doesn't go 7, buddy, if this does not go 7, we were all failed as basketball fans. I'm saying the same thing with the Rockets Warriors series, same thing with the Nuggets Clippers. I need these in my veins, especially after that first game. Oh my God, Russell Westbrook, Mr. Fuck shit up.
Stan Van Gundy fighting Jokic over the ball on the sideline. And someone quotes, or Jeff Van Gundy fighting Jokic on the sideline with the ball was the funniest clip I've seen in the playoffs in several years. And someone quote tweeted and was like, how strong is Jeff Van Gundy? It's like, that is incredible that he's just holding onto the ball while Jokic is trying to rip it away from him. It's like that grip strength, 100, level 100. Incredible.
No, Jeff Van Gundy has a complete history of like grabbing onto things with both hands. Remember the fight, Knicks Heat in the late 90s.
I'm very familiar. It's just incredibly funny that we're 30 years past that now and he's still doing the same shit as an assistant. Like,
shout out
assistant
Jack,
to
man.
the assistant. That's good.
Love it.
Yeah, great game. Like you said, 7 games of this would be incredible.
Christian Brown, clutch, Mr. Ice in his veins.
Yeah, he's been stellar. Another fun
the year contender. Sorry, I had to say it.
He is. Another fun series that we previewed, Knicks Pistons in the Eastern Conference. We thought this was one of the better Eastern Conference matchups, and that proved to be really good for about 40 minutes. And then all of a sudden the Knicks. So I'm watching this game. I'm up in the press box. I got there early. It's first game of the playoffs for the Stars. I'm up in the press box. I was like, you know what? They got the hockey game up on the TV, the Winnipeg game. So I was like, I'm good there. Let's put the Knicks game on the computer while I just sit here and wait. Watched a good bit of that game, probably the last 3 quarters of it. I was like, man, this is a slugfest. This is fun. This is SEC basketball, baby. We're crunching. Isaiah Stewart tried to fight already. Knew there was going to be a fight at some point. It's already brewing, and it was maybe 25 minutes into the game, which was awesome. But Jalen Brunson's like 3 of 14 at one point. I was like, ooh, stinker from Jalen. He finished with 34 points. The Knicks went on a 21-0 run. It may have been more after that because the game was about to start on the ice. So I closed out of it to be a good journalist and not pay attention to another game while there was a game on the ice. And yeah, I mean, Cameron Payne shoots the ball with his back to the basket somehow. Incredible every time I see it. It's been that way his whole career, and I can't stop marveling at it. Every time he shoots a 3, I'm like, how does this happen? And he was just swishing threes in their face for the whole fourth quarter. He had like 14 points in the fourth quarter. It was incredible. So, Knicks went on 21-0 run, and they just kind of ran away with it there in the fourth quarter. It was a very fun game up until maybe 8 minutes left.
Yep. Well, getting skunked in the playoffs 21-0, that's the most disgusting way of that's the most disgusting way to lose. Also, shout out Campaign, ultimate role player. He's been around for 12, 13 years now. I still remember vividly him and Russell Westbrook hitting them folks on the
the OKC
court side. Remember that?
Handshake was incredible. 2016 was what a year.
What a year for basketball. What a year for life. What a year for us. Man, this Pistons Knicks series, I really think that it all boiled down to experience. I mean, 21-0, that doesn't just happen. Like,
no,
the Pistons don't have experience. The Knicks do, and here we are. It ends up being, like I said, not a slugfest, but a skunk fest. And obviously the Knicks should have won that game anyway. But the fact that the Pistons were up for the majority of it, at least in the second half, there's hope there. There's something there. I don't know what it is yet. Cade Cunningham getting double and triple teamed at the basket, that's definitely don't want that, him taking shots in those situations. But every Superman and every kryptonite needs its hero or whatever. Ronald Holland, I need that. I need real Ronald Holland minutes. Who's to say? It could really happen.
They could always put Tolu Smith on the court. He had 14 points and 12 rebounds in his NBA debut. People forget.
That's right.
Always got to sneak that in. But yeah, Malik Beasley missed a few open threes there during that run as well, when it was like 9-0 or 12-0 or 15-0. Like, it just kept creeping up. And Malik Beasley had 2 threes. I remember watching him. He's in his pocket, like he's in his spot, and he just missed 2 of them. And he didn't do that all season. Like, he was prime Klay Thompson this whole season. It was incredible.
Yeah, he shot like 44% from 3, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he had a literal Klay Thompson shooting performance this entire season. For 82 games, he had that. So him missing threes when they're open and Cade is getting just quadruple team basically at the basket. Yeah, it's gonna be tough when you're on a 21-0 run and you gotta just get one bucket, and they didn't get one. Not one. Campaign was like, watch this. Back to the basket, shot the three. It's the stupidest shot I've ever seen. It's incredible.
Like, and what's been so cool about this Pistons team is, like, obviously they're much deeper than they used to be, but Cade Cunningham is the only guy on that team, and of course we can look at the Rockets the same way. I mean, I'd like to say that we have at least two guys, but with how the Pistons are kind of constructed, built, everybody's still stupid young. It's like if you even go out and you lose in 4 or let's say 5 games, like, you're still holding your head a little high. It's not like this, oh no, we had expectations, we failed, bro. You surpassed those expectations in mid-February. Like, the Pistons are okay. It's almost like the first time the Thunder got to the playoffs. Was that last year or 2 years ago? You're like, okay, you can lose once, you can maybe even lose twice, but let's not make it a trend. So hopefully the Pistons can learn from this, and maybe, I don't know, I'm saying this as if it's game 6 or game 7 and the series is over. But regardless, the Pistons can learn from this, and we continue to have more fun basketball in the East, because that's what we've been wanting and striving for anyway, right?
We need it. Yeah, because I think we had the Pistons in like the second to last tier in the Eastern Conference when we did our preview for the Eastern Conference at the beginning of the season before it started. They surpassed every expectation. They just kept going on runs, and they were like 5th, 4th in the East at some points. Like, holy shit, Pistons are doing these things, and it's like December, and you're like, this is impressive. But it wasn't like Memphis. They didn't completely fall off the wagon. They stayed where they were. They got the 6th seed. Like, you made the actual playoffs. You didn't have to go to the play-in, play a couple of games to get in and all that kind of stuff. Like, they just made the playoffs, and that's an incredible development for this team that paid a coach $100 million to just go away. Just sitting people for no reason. It was just kind of a disastrous few seasons as soon as Cade Cunningham showed up. And they're a bad team when Cade showed up. You have like a 2-year grace period. And then after that, you're like, you should be building towards something. And it took an extra year, maybe 2 years, but they're building towards something. And that's fun. And the Knicks are still fun. I like this team a lot. But I was listening to Bill, not talking. I was listening to Bill. I believe it was Bill. And they were like, something about this Knicks team, Knicks fans don't love it as much as they loved that team last year. I thought that was interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think they're still getting used to Mikal Bridges, and they're still getting used to Cat. It's different, but Jalen Brunson's the most popular Knick of this century. Like, I think he's more popular than Melo was already.
Melo or Stephon Marbury. I mean, well, Stephon Marbury played terrible. He played on terrible Knicks teams. So let's get him out of there. Obviously, individual fun player, but no team success behind it. Melo, a little bit of team success behind it, but
they had that 51 year, and then they lost to the Heat in round 1, I believe.
Well, but before I get rid of this thought in my head and it goes away, I believe it was we were talking about sitting guys. Bol getting sat for the last month of the season because Mike Budenholzer didn't like him not standing up for his boy Mason Plumlee when we were having that scuffle there at Toyota Center. So much developed from that game, and I'm so glad I got to witness it, with my eyes. I'm still talking about this months later. I'm like, man, I saw this team in person. They fucking stunk, and here we are. Bol just sat at the basket, like just practicing like little overhanded layups while his boy was just getting beat on, and obviously Steven Adams was getting hit pretty hard too. So I don't know, Jim. Bol needs to be on a real team, Jim. He needs to be on a real team. Come join the Houston Rockets. We have an 8-man spot for you.
Put him on the Pistons next year.
I know. That'd be so nice. That'd be so sick.
That'd be fun. Over to the West last night, the Timberwolves went to LA and belt to ass.
Yep.
Belt to ass. Anthony Edwards went off. I know he left the game late with cramping. I don't know if he came back or not. I was at the game. So, everyone not named Luka is kind of ass for the Lakers. So not an ideal start to the regular or the playoffs, but Anthony Edwards pointing at Luka after hitting a shot on him. That image is posted everywhere in Staples Center. Everywhere.
With his ring finger too.
Yeah.
That was so strange. You
was
gotta
a
love it.
Strange point. I didn't really know was he flipping him off, but like didn't want to get fined for it, so he did the ring finger. Like, I don't know what that was.
I don't know. Did this ever happen to you when you were a kid? I believe they connotated it to a certain country. I'm not going to name the country, but they would
the pinky.
put up the pinky. Yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe it was that. He grew up in Georgia, so maybe it was the ring finger over there. It was Pinky in
the
Alabama,
equivalent
Pinky
of
in
that.
Texas. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was that, but that image is it's potentially going to haunt the Timberwolves fans, Anthony Edwards, and the rest of the roster because Luka Doncic doesn't take those things lightly in any way, shape, or form. You can't do that because he did it last year before the series even started. They won Game 7 against Denver, and he calls out Kyrie, and then Kyrie just put the works on him in Game 1, just running circles around him, put him on oxygen in like the second or third quarter because he was running so much. And then the rest of the series, he did not play on Kyrie or Luka. Like he did not guard either of them.
Well, oxygen plus cramping, does this not equal some underlying health situation?
Hey, I mean, he's in the off season. He's eating all those fried chickens.
The big
people.
D.
You should probably trade for a really good defensive player, top 15 defensive player, and a first round pick, and maybe send him to Dallas. Maybe and put him in the right headspace.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe we're making crazy accusations here. Allegedly, maybe Anthony Edwards just has diabetes. No, who knows?
I think he's fine. I think he just gets a little excited and runs his energy a little too high, but that's fine.
That could be it. Yep.
I mean, I was always in shape and I always overheated, so it just happens, even if you're hydrated and everything. So I don't know, but yeah, Luka's not going to take lightly to that one celebration directed right at him. Because I know Luka screamed at Gobert last year, but everyone hates Gobert. So, like, that one was kind of reasonable. He didn't scream at Ant, really. He was screaming at the crowd and everything. Luka might just have 55 next game, and I would not be surprised in any way, shape, or form.
Yep, we are taking the more than on Prize Picks for Luka Doncic. Not gambling advice. Not daily fantasy advice.
No. Shout out to Prize Picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up. Get to $100 match on your first deposit. Yeah, Luka's – I'll be pulling that back up next episode to next Sunday when we talk about this series again. That image is going to haunt the Timberwolves at some point. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Yep. So
especially if the Lakers take a lead in this series, whether it be 2-1 or 3-2, you're like, oh shit. Oh shit. So I think we're due for what, 3 good LeBron playoff games here at least.
Yeah, he took one game off. Now you're going to get 3 pretty good ones, and you're going to get angry Luka, which is a problem, and then you're probably going to get angry Austin Reeves because he didn't play as great last night either.
You know? I really want to see these games at Target Center. I am ecstatic for that proposition.
Yeah, can't wait. It's a great series, nonetheless. Even though the first game was kind of a stinker, I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's going 7. I don't know about you, but that's what
we're at 3 out of 8 going to 7 right now.
I'm fine with that.
By the end of the show, we'll be at 4.
I mean, can we just have one first round that's like electric for the first time in years, please? Would love that. The Thunder.
Speaking of not electric,
I got home, went to church like a good Christian boy I am on Easter Sunday. Went to church for the first time in a while. It was a good time. Got home probably an hour into this game. It was maybe halftime, maybe third quarter. I texted y'all. It's like 107.55. What are we doing here? Why?
No answer. I don't have an answer for you other than Marvin Bagley making a almost 3/4 court shot, switching it. My mom and I watched that live. She goes, "What the fuck?" It was so crazy. You gotta love it. Awesome. Shout out Marvin Bagley getting drafted before Luka Doncic and just putting in some real rotational minutes on a playoff team.
Truly did not know Marvin Bagley was on the Grizzlies. Just had no idea. And we
now you know. What about a status update on James Wiseman? Is he still a Piston?
Yeah, but he got hurt like the beginning of the season. He was out for the season. So yeah, technically still a Piston.
55 wins next season with James Wiseman. I'm just saying.
Sure, James Wiseman boost, number 1 overall pick.
James Wiseman morality boost.
People forget. Yeah, the Thunder Mav series I think would have been better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Just off pure merit of PJ Washington and Derek Lively and Anthony Davis. Like just having those guys out there. Thunder looked way better than I thought they were going to look today. Yeah. I thought it was going to be closer. I did think the Thunder were going to sweep this series with the Grizzlies in it. Didn't really doubt that in any way, shape, or form. I did not expect a 50-plus point win in game 1. Just didn't see that one coming. So good for them.
It's nasty, truly nasty. Status update on Ja. What are we? What is happening?
Speaking of putting houses on the market, Ja Morant, you better find a new home, pal, because I don't know where you're living next year, but I don't know. It's not going to be Memphis.
Oh, damn.
It's
that's
not
not
going to
what I
be
meant.
Memphis. Put the house on the market, pal. It's over.
Oh, no. Alvin Kamara style.
Do you think Ja would be better in another city outside of Memphis? Because he's made for Memphis. Like his persona that he puts on the court made for Memphis.
He gives off Milwaukee vibes, and I say that out of the music scene that's come out of there. I can just picture him instead of doing the whole grenade thing, and of course for the YouTube viewers, after the 3-point celebration, he's doing that whole celebration. I don't know. And also let me backtrack here. Kevin Porter Jr. being on the Milwaukee Bucks. I want to die. DIE. Every time
I forgot he was
watch
there.
that team play basketball, it's very disgusting. Very unethical.
Ja Morant to Orlando, point guard.
Ja Morant to Dallas. What about that?
No.
No. Orlando would be cool.
I think Orlando would be fun because like Paolo's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Josh shows up. He can't necessarily be the guy because he wasn't there originally. So Paolo's still the guy.
That would be a scary starting lineup. What would it be? Ja, Franz Wagner. If you want to put it'd be Cole Anthony off the bench, right?
Yeah, it would. It would KCP, Paolo, Franz, Ja,
right.
and Jonathan Isaac.
Oh, nope, not him.
Like literally anyone at center. You could throw anyone.
Put Jet Howard at center.
Bol.
Yes, reunion in Orlando. Man, we are incredible geniuses here. Very stable geniuses, folks.
Just fix the Orlando Magic. So the Thunder, they're going to sweep the Grizz. We might not mention them again in the first round. That's fine.
Yeah, no.
Celtics, Magic. Great first half. SEC basketball style first half. No one's making shots. It's all 2-pointers. It was gross. Great defense from the Magic. I was looking at it. I was like, are we getting like a Pacers Celtics series from last year where every game's going to be super close and the Celtics are going to pull it out of their ass at the end? Possibly. Then the third quarter happened and it was over. Derek White had like 30-something points today. So that game pretty much stunk in the second half. But the first half was fun. That was cool. A little athletic defensive team bowing up on Boston. That was fun for 24 minutes.
Yep. Sure. There's really no notes about this game other than Paolo Banchero. He started real slow. Mm-hmm. But man, I really have nothing on this series. This series sucks. Derek White, good for you. He had a big game. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah. Olympic gold medalist, Derek White. People forget.
That is correct, officer.
I forgot he was on that team. So crazy.
Nope. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, 100%. I think you might get like a really good first half out of this series every game, and then the second half is just going to be all Celtics because Joe Mazzulla down and get the boys hyped up, and then they'll on.
There you go. That's right. Joe Mazzulla, happy Easter to the most, dare I say, Antichrist type head coach that we have in the league.
I love him so much now.
He's insane. The man is insane.
He's so incredibly strange that I have to love him. And I hate that he's on the Celtics. But now I don't even have any beef with the Celtics because Luke is gone. So it's like I have no beef with almost anyone.
Won't have to worry about that anymore.
No, don't have any beef with pretty much anyone anymore. I just don't have any beef. It's all gone. It went away with the Luka trade. Mazzulla is incredibly funny. Did you see him on Pardon My Take this past week?
No.
So I just saw the clip. I didn't listen to the episode, but I saw the clip. And last year, Hank, the producer for PMT, he had to shave his head if the Celtics won the championship, and he got to go on the duck boat for the championship parade and all that kind of stuff. This year, Mazzulla proposed a new thing, and they're like, what if he does like a soul patch? Because he's got a full beard. Like he's got to do a soul patch, and then he gets on the duck boat again. And Mazzulla was like, no. Why does he do the Dallas haircut where it's all short right here, and then he's got a bunch right here, and
the South Dallas shag,
a mullet? And they never got to the point. I just screaming South Dallas shag at my phone on TikTok, like South Dallas shag, and they never got there. But I think that is now the new bet if Hank gets to go on the duck boat if the Boston wins again this year. He's got to get a South Dallas shag before getting on the boat.
I was at Chili's last night, not sponsored, and this man had a South Dallas shag with a cheetah print style painting of the back of his hair. It was the coolest, most grimy shit I have seen in a very long time. And
good for him.
shout out that haircut.
Yeah, great haircut. Honestly,
Yeah,
if you can rock it, do
my
it.
coworkers keep trying to convince me to get a bald fade. I'm like, I'm not there yet. Let's let this thin a little more, and then we'll
Okay.
get there.
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Thought that was funny from Missoula. So good for him. 2 more games. This game just started as we're recording this. It's 6:18 p.m. right now. Heat Cavs. I don't know what to expect from this series.
Me
Because
neither.
like if you told me before the play-in that the Heat were gonna move on and get the 8 seed, I'd be like, yeah, probably. That makes sense. Heat culture. They're gonna just snort a bunch of lines of cocaine and all of a sudden Heat culture is gonna scream out of their veins and they're gonna win some games and to be an interesting first round series. But you could also tell me that the Cavs are just going to sweep them and it's not even going to be close. Like I don't know, but I'm going to go with the Cavs win by 12 tonight.
Sure.
That's what happened as you're listening to this Monday morning.
Yeah, that's what. Our prediction reigned true. And the Rockets won by 58 points at home, game 1. We love to see it. Almost there. It's gonna be a fun.
Davion versus Donovan, 45 versus 45.
Wow. That's
the matchup I'm looking forward to.
That's right. The matchup I'm looking forward to is my face, pillow, and my bed and my blanket. After that matchup,
I need a nap before your 8:30.
Yeah,
the Stars
you're telling
game
me it's in Houston. It's in Houston and it starts at 8:30. What the fuck? What are we talking about?
No, the Stars game tomorrow night. On a Monday night. So Saturday night, go to the Stars game, 7:30 start time. They don't puck drop till 7:50. Dumb, whatever. Get over it. It's a Saturday night. I can go late. That's fine. I can sleep in. I can do whatever on Sunday. It's okay. Monday night, 8:30, which means 8:50 puck drop. I'm going to be there till 1 a.m. in the press room. And I'm going to come home just miserable because we're probably going to lose that one too. And miserable fashion. Just like we did last year and we won that series in 7. People forget. But the times in Texas, just because we're in the Western Conference, does not mean you need to start those games at 8:30 p.m.
No, this is a Mountain Time and a Pacific Time situation. This is not Central Time and Eastern Time. The game starts at 9:30 Eastern, and it's in Houston, fucking Texas. It's not in L.A. It's not in San Francisco. It's not in Oakland. It's not in Seattle, Portland. No, it's in Houston, Texas.
Outside of us sickos, no one cares about this Heat Cavs game outside of Miami, Cleveland, and NBA sickos.
I don't get it. I really don't.
And even though we're not even that in tune to it. Like you can overlap this game. Start at 7:30. That's fine. So bad.
I'd co-sign that. But it's okay. It's I want to say it's just one day, but I think almost every game in this series starts at 8:30.
Yeah, same for the Stars. It's brutal after game 1. They're all 8:30 after that.
It's over. It's over before it started. Rockets win in 5. I am so happy that we get to finish this.
Here we go.
Playoffs. This postseason as a unit here with Zero Gravity. Of course, Shelly Nord, we miss you. These next 2 months are going to be really fun. Let's get after it, pal.
Yeah, Rockets Warriors. Rockets win by 6, game 1.
Yep.
That's what happened last night.
Sure.
So if you're listening to this and it's wrong, we recorded this at 6:22 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday night, 2 hours before the game even just shows up on your TV. So don't blame me. Rockets by 6 tonight.
Sure, that's fine. We'll take that.
Prove me wrong. And if they're right, this clip's going to go crazy. Can't wait for that.
All I'm saying, man, hey, that KD trade, throw Bol in that mix. Hey, I'm just saying.
Well, did you see Mark Stein just put that one in kaput? The Rockets aren't looking at KD anymore.
I did. And I want to say it's too bad, but also depending on how this postseason goes, it's like, oh, maybe this team can actually win 60 games next year with this construction. I don't know if Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet are going to continue being in that construction, but I'm not going to. The playoffs just started. I'm going to pump my brakes a little bit. But I'm excited to see what comes out of this. Hopefully, it's a little less heartbreak than years before. And maybe Fred VanVleet is just a warrior killer, and he has 3 really good games and scores 20 plus points. Maybe he could be the X factor.
Maybe.
I don't know. Sure. Can't wait. Can't damn wait.
Yeah, I think this is going to be my favorite series in the first round. I know I've said that about Clippers and Nuggets and T-Wolves, Lakers, and Knicks, Pistons. Like, there's some good series I think that we're going to get out of this. I don't know.
There are 3 good Western Conference series.
Yes. And then there's a lot of really bad series as well. So
that's okay. We have let's count 4. Yeah, we'll count 4 out of the 8 being potentially good series. That's
I'll
fine.
take
You
that.
take that.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good. 50% in the first round, you take that all day long, especially with how good some of these top teams were. Like Thunder, 68 wins. Like the Cavs and Boston, 60 wins basically. Like
Yeah.
they're all just cruising the regular season. If they just cruise through the first round, that's fine. That's okay. As long as we get some good meat on the bone between like the 3-6 matchup, the 4-5 matchup, maybe the occasional 2-7. Especially in the Western Conference. Yeah. So
yeah, definitely.
It'll be good. So that was our game 1 reactions. Obviously didn't watch 2 of them because I don't want to record after the Rockets game because it's going to be midnight by the time we get there.
Yeah.
So
no,
not
I
doing that.
I gotta be up at 4 a.m. tomorrow, buddy. Not happening.
Yeah, definitely not doing that. But we'll be back next week or this upcoming week, a little bit later. React to game 2 and maybe some game 3s that have happened before. Probably Thursday we'll record and get after it. It'll be fun. It's good stuff. We've got some good games. Got some good series. NBA playoff is back. Playoffs are back,
man.
baby.
We made it. We made it, brother. What a fun season. Let's do it again.
It's been one of the most memorable seasons. I'm glad you had fun.
It's definitely been a season for sure.
Glad you had fun. That was great for you. Might have a new hat next episode. People are saying.
Oh, some are saying.
People are saying. Got a new hat coming on. It's coming in tomorrow. So maybe it's good luck for you. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's bad luck. I could bring all the bad juju. I don't know. It could be good. Could be bad. We'll see. We'll see.
Thank you, Stone. Appreciate you.
But yeah, head to apollohou.store to order our new H-Town versus Everyone La Branch edition, the Houston Rockets edition of our H-Town versus Everyone. It's black. It's got the red writing. It's crispy. It's clean. Go get them if you're a Rockets fan at apollohou.store. You can pre-order them, or we'll probably have some left over that we can sell later on this week at J-Bar M. I would assume that we're going to do that. So shout out to our sponsors, J-Bar M. J-Bar M Barbecue is just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. Best barbecue in town. Easy drinks to get. They got free parking. It's all the best. It's like a 10-minute walk over to Toyota Center. So if you want to come pregame before you go to a Rockets playoff game, go do that at J-Bar M Barbecue. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here. They got ready-to-drink cans. They got the mix. You can make your own drinks. Love Zing Zang. Zang responsibly. And shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Paul's Wing Joint. Josh, it was a pleasure. It's always a good time talking basketball. Let's go watch some basketball and get a good night's rest. Hopefully the Rockets win by 6 tonight.
That's right. We're 56. Who knows? Can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be back later this week with another episode of Zero Gravity, All Media's NBA podcast.